on Justice hinggil sa pagtakas ni Guo Huaping, Sheila Guo at Wesley Guo noong Hulyo 2024. Hindi po ito hearing ng Committee on Women, dear friends. This is the Subcommittee on Justice hearing that has sought answers to the question that has perplexed the country since last year. How did Alice Guo and her siblings escape? For the individuals, were any of these individuals government officials, local government officials? Napakadami na pong naglabasang mga teorya. May mga nakumpirma. Ang isang nakumpirma, staff sa opisina ng local government official ang tumulong para mapanotaryo ang affidavit ni Guo Huaping ngayong wala naman siya sa Pilipinas. Ang isa pang nakumpirma, nakarating si Guo Huaping at ang kanyang mga kasama sa Kuala Lumpur International Airport, kung saan at matapos niyan ay sa Singapore, matapos niyan ay sa Bataan, Indonesia, kung saan sila naaresto. Salamat sa mga otoridad ng Indonesia. Para sa mga nagtatanong, yung title na cancellation of Alice Guo's passport, yan po kasi ang naging panawagan several months ago nung ako ay nag-deliver ng privileged speech. Obviously, the cancellation of her passport is not what we seek now, but real and concrete answers. Kaya na ba sagutin ng BI ngayong umaga ang tanong, paano nakaalis ang mga puganteng ito? O talagang our law enforcement and border authorities have been rendered so inutile that the woman who has been under the scrutiny of an entire nation, wala na yatang hindi nakakaalam ng itsura niya. So one time, other worrisome developments have emerged. Pinapakita ng mga ito na tila ang galing maglabas-masok sa bansa ng walang paghilatis. Over the past months, there has been one arrest after another of Chinese spies in the Philippines, some even working with Filipino citizens. Nabahala ako doon sa isang detalye sa isang article na nabasa natin, na these spies have given cash, vehicles, and motorbikes to local governments in the Philippines in 2022, including the city of Tarlac. Tarlac, kung saan taga roon si Guo Huaping. Nabalitaan din po natin na ang kamakailan lang ang di umanong pagpapalusot ng mga pogo bosses papunta ng ibang bansa, imbes na ibalik sa bansang China. Ang modus daw ay hindi direct flight ang binibili. Tapos, sa layover, naglalaho na parang bula ang mga bosses sa kanilang transit destination. And where, for God's sake, is Harry Roque? Bakit parang libre na lang siyang mag-post ng kung ano-ano sa social media na parang kinukutsa pa ang administrasyon at mga otoridad natin while avoiding arrest for charges of human trafficking? According to my sources, Harry Roque flew into Shanghai from Dubai on December 8, 2024, stayed in Shanghai for just one day, and then flew out to the casino city of Macau. Sino kaya ang tumutulong sa kanya? In the meantime, the porousness of our borders is also making it easier for our kababayan to be trafficked to scam compounds in another country. Mayroon pong Pilipino na handa pong magkwento na sila ay nahikayat lumabas dahil daw nanalo sila ng all-expense-paid trip to Thailand. Ngunit ang akala nilang once-in-a-lifetime memory, naging pangungot. Yaman din lang na ito ang topic natin, isa pong malaking shout-out sa ating pamahalaan para sa tinatayang higit na 100 mga Pilipino na trapped sa border ng Myanmar. Naiikas nga sila mula sa mga scam compounds pero dahil sa buhol-buhol na burokrasya, gawa ng 3 bansa ang nagko-coordinate, Thailand, Pilipinas at Myanmar, hindi pa sila na itatawid pauwi. One of these individuals has reportedly been raped. Here are the conditions in the facility in Myanmar. At hindi po mga ito galing sa mga Pilipino doon dahil bawal sila kumuha ng photo, pero galing sa media na pinayagan mag-cover. I implore the executive, let us do what it takes to bring them home. This is about accountability. Accountability para sa pagtakas ni Alice Guo, but also in a larger sense, accountability for our failure to keep our borders safe and protect Filipinos. So unang mga tanong ko po sa pagpapatuloy nitong hearing para sa Bureau of Immigration. Ilang buwan na ang nakalilipas, sapat na siguro ang panahon para makapagsiyasat kayo ng mabuti kung ano ang tunay na nangyari at nakataka si Guo Huaping. So please provide us this update now. Sabi po ni Commissioner Guiado noon, you would be able to present a report on exactly how Guo Huaping escaped. So ngayon na po ang pagkakataon. So will it be Attorney Santos or Chief Manahan or Acting Chief Uy? I hope the most senior among you po. Sorry? Ano po? Ay, nako. Oh, and meron bang kailangan pang mag-impartial resource person? Let me, although pinakabahan ako sa body language, but bago ko tawagin yung magsasagot para sa BI, may I ask our concept, attorney, kung meron pong mga bagong resource persons na kailangan pang manumpa. And if the concept, of course, could recognize all the resource persons present this morning. Salamat po.
Yes, ma'am. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, Madam Chair. From the Department of Justice, representing Secretary Remulla as well as USEC Nicolas T. of the Interagency Council Against Trafficking, we have Attorney Olivia Torrevilla and Attorney Mary Grace Quintana. Kindly please acknowledge once your name is called. Thank you, ma'am. From the Department of Foreign Affairs, we have Director Brian Dexter Lau, Mr. Jonel John Domingo, Assistant Director Charlie Florian T. Prenicolas, and Case Officer Aaron Patrice Isabel Frias. From the Department of Interior and Local Government, we have Attorney Ross Rafael Bascuña. With him is also Attorney Keith Mengulio, Attorney David Rafael Monsalud, Attorney Nicole Boqueren. From the Department of Transportation, we have Captain Jim Sidionco, and with him is Attorney Noel Alarcon. From the Department of Migrant Workers, we have Assistant Secretary Francis Ron de Guzman. From the Philippine National Police, we have Police Brigadier General Reynaldo Pawit. With him is Police Captain Nino A. Padernal, Police Major Julius Vincent Libang, and Police Lieutenant Colonel Mark Carlos Abaja. From the Bureau of Immigration.
Attorney, I think I also see Police Major General Nicolas Torre with us this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, General.
Sorry, Madam Chair. From the Bureau of Immigration, representing Commissioner Viado is Attorney Arvin Cesar Santos, and Chief for Intelligence Division, Mr. Fortunato Manahan Jr., as well as Acting Chief of the Biometrics Section, Ms. Maria Rolene Merced B.Uy. From the National Bureau of Investigation, we have Head Agent Mr. Palmer U. Malyari, and with him is Dr. Alfredo Cahanding. Sir. From the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, we have Attorney Albi T. Juarez. From the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, we have retired Brigadier General Raul P. Villanueva, and with him is Attorney Jessa Maris Fernandez. From the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, we have Attorney Adrian Gose, Mr. Armando Magsipok, Attorney Joy Gabriela A. Bedanya, and Colonel Isaias Espino. From the Maritime Industry Authority, we have Engineer Ronaldo P. Bandalaria. With him is Attorney Dem Thomas T. Redonia and Mr. Archimedes Joel Montereso. From the Philippine Ports Authority, we have Attorney Dominic Paulo C. Marquez. From the Manila International Airport Authority, we have General Manager Eric Jose Ines. And with him is Senior Assistant General Manager Maria Lourdes Reyes. From the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, we have invited Yusek Gilberto Cruz. From the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, we have Police Major General Nicolas Torre III. Good morning, sir. From the Philippine Coast Guard, we have Commodore Eugenio Federico, Captain Oliver C. Tanseco, Attorney Gerson Gamas, Commander Lynn Hinete, Lieutenant Van Angelo G. Gonzalez, and then Commander Orly A. Wong. From the Philippine Navy, we have Captain Jim P. Razo. Likewise, Madam Chair, I would like to inform the body that we have invited former Commissioner Norman Tansinko of the Bureau of Immigration. However, despite several follow-ups, we did not get any confirmation nor regrets from him. That is all, Madam Chair. At this juncture, would you like me to administer the oath, Madam Chair?
Yes, please do. Any who have not taken the oath yet in the previous hearing.
Yes.
Salamat, Attorney.
Can everybody please kindly stand up and raise your right hand? For those who have not yet taken the oath in the previous hearings. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this public hearing? You may sit down, please. Thank you. Madam Chair, the oath has been administered.
Salamat, Attorney Martel, Comsec. So, balik po ako sa BI. I recall po noong November 24, sinabi po ninyo, you wrote a letter to the different immigration units in Asia. At ang status ng marami doon ay awaiting reply. I recall the summary of correspondences the Bureau submitted then were various requests and reiterations of requests to various addressees, Indonesian, Malaysian, Singaporean, Australian, Hong Kong, beginning August 2024 to November 2024. At least kalahati nito, 6, ay awaiting reply. So, 4 months na po. So, may reply na po ba sila sa inyo at sa atin? Yes, Chief Manahan.
Madam Chair, good morning. With regard po sa issue of the results ng mga replies, as far as I can remember, Madam Chair, no official replies, written replies received by the Bureau of Immigration as of this date. Pero sa informal channel po, Madam Chair, they are may mga information po sila na sinabi na walang results or wala akong information with regard to the arrival or departure of the GUOs on those particular dates. But with regard to the written or official replies, the Bureau of Immigration haven't received any from those counterparts.
So, okay lang po ba yun sa atin? I mean, basta na lang din na lang natin malalaman kung paano nakaalis si Guo Huaping et al.
Madam Chair, last year, the Bureau of Immigration submitted a report to your honorable office, Madam Chair. And with regard to any progress or developments as manifested last November, we will consult with, we will check from the Office of the Commissioner if there's any reports submitted from November to this date, Madam Chair.
But of course, sir, bago po kayong lahat pumunta rito sa hearing, siguro naman in-update na po kayo ng office ni Commissioner. So, ibig pong sabihin, is it normal na susulat ang ating Bureau of Immigration sa mga counterparts nyo sa ibang mga bansa sa Asia? And aside from information through informal channels na wala silang resulta, na walang official and written reply at all, or walang informal information of something more substantive? Okay din po ba sa kanila yung ganon?
Dun sa case po ng GUO case, ma'am, as I can remember, yung the Commissioner Francisco at that time sent a letter, official letter to the Commissioner of Indonesia. Yun po yung naging way para ma-hold ng Indonesia government yung si Sheila and Cassandra, and eventually turned over to the Bureau of Immigration that time. So, ang ginamit po dito is official letter by the BI to the Indonesian government. But with regard to possible routes or entries and exits, yung office naman po ng Intelligence Division, without any written or official letter, consulting or asking informations via informal channels, ma'am. Yun po yung nangyari dun sa...
But it was no longer Commissioner Tansinko who promised this subcommittee, promised our chair, Senator Coco Pimentel, that there would be an update, there would be a report. It was already Commissioner Viado. So, kasi kung titigil lang tayo sa ganitong status, we're inutil as a country. 4 na buwan na po and we still don't know how fugitives got past our borders undetected. And if you could tell the committee on record, Chief Manahan for the BI, in short, hindi pa po alam hanggang ngayon ng Bureau of Immigration. Will you make that of record?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Alright. You can imagine the frustration that the whole committee and our chair, the Senate, would feel about this kind of a status na hindi pa natin ma-solve yung it shouldn't even be a mystery. It's a simple matter of fact na dapat by now nalalaman natin. Very regrettable po. Now, nung nakaraang taon, sinabi ng presidente na nung nakatakas si Guo Huaping, sinabi ng presidente na heads will roll. So, may update na po ba sa internal investigation naman sa BI sa mga opisyal nito na maaring sangkot o kasabwat sa pagtakas ni Guo Huaping? So, kung may update, ilan po ang nakasuhan, ilan po ang may administrative sanctions?
We will check if there's any from the Office of the Commissioner, if there's any.
Chief, Manahan, you're the chief of the intelligence division. Do you know if there is an internal investigation or there's not? Meron po bang kinasuhan o wala? Meron po bang administratively sinasanction o wala?
As far as I'm concerned, ma'am, wala pong alam kasi may ibang offices din po kasi ang tawag doon na in charge, which is the Board of Discipline or BOD, Board of Discipline, who conducts also investigation when it comes to personal matters, Madam Chair.
But I suppose, kahit Board of Discipline ang directly in charge, dapat alam din ng Intelligence Division. I can't imagine there's any other Intelligence Division of any other institution here na kung hindi man sila ang in charge directly sa isang internal investigation sa hanay nila. And in fairness to BI, I will ask similar questions of the other agencies. Kung ma-imagine na may Intelligence Division ng ano pa mang institution dito could be totally unaware kung merong internal investigation. Lalo na 4 na buwan na po mula nung huling itanong ito. So again, medyo magtuthrow up ng hands ang subcommittee sa ganyang status. I mean, what is the BI doing if not finding out paano nakatakas si Guo Huaping? Then at the very least, finding out kung meron ba at kung meron, kung sino ang kasabwat sa loob ng Bureau. Does the Bureau even know kung saan border umalis si Guo Huaping? Saan border dito sa Pilipinas?
Ma'am, we will submit compliance report to your office, Madam Chair, but I'm sorry, but as of this time, we don't have any information kung saan ports or subports nakatakas sila Guo siblings, Madam Chair.
So we don't know anything. 4 months later, more than 4 months later, kung paano sila nakatakas, kung may tumulong ba sa kanilang mga opisyal o kawani ng gobyerno natin, pati sa BI, kung saan port or coast man lang ng archipelago natin siya tumakas. And, I mean, ang Senate kasi, treaty-making body, so laging top of mind din namin yung ibang mga bansa. Sulat po ng sulat ang Bureau sa ibang mga gobyerno, sa ibang mga bureaus of immigration ng ibang mga gobyerno. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa silang official reply. So, tapos na ba yun? Okay na ba yun? How does the BI even feel about this? Okay po ba yung ganito? Chief?
I fully agree, Madam Chair. We will submit any compliance report as soon as possible, Madam Chair, to your office.
As soon as possible was last year, Director. Paunit-unit po yung ganyan mga we will submit. Haba po ng pasensya ng subcommittee na ito at ng mga miyembro at ng chair. Kung ako kayo, nakakainis yung ibang mga Bureau of Immigration na ibang mga bansa. Wala mo lang maibigay na maayos na sagot. It is totally unacceptable. I'll ask you now, and I hope the Bureau has some answers naman about these other issues, no? There are supposedly three Pogo bosses who were supposed to have been deported to China. Ang mga pangalan nila ay Liu Xun, Kong Xiangrui, and Wang Xiangle. I'm almost sure alam niyo itong mga pangalan na ito. Sila po ay unang deportees after the raid of Rilan's company, where 4,500 Chinese Pogo workers were rounded up. Tanong ko po sa inyo, hindi lang kay Chief Manahan, pati kay Attorney Santos or Acting Chief Wei. Tanong ko po sa inyo, ang sinakyan ba nila ay direct flight o transit flight lang? And maybe see a copy of the implementation order of their deportation. Si Attorney Santos.
We will secure the copy, ma'am, and check on these names. But we would also like to reiterate the press release of Commissioner Viado regarding the transit flights. So our commissioner reiterated the requirements for deportation, which is the passport, the ticket, and the NBI clearance. For coordination with our partner agencies, we do that with regard to fugitives once they are declared as fugitives by their governments. So in this case, ma'am, we will retrieve the documents and update the committee.
No, that was the first. Those three were the first deportees after the raid on reruns. Were not tens, not hundreds, but thousands of Chinese POGO workers were rounded up, and those three bosses, POGO bosses, were supposed to be deported to China. I think during this hearing, you can provide us a copy of the deportation order. Imposibleng wala yun. And very importantly, direct flight ba ang binook sa kanila o transit flight lamang yung sinakyan nila? Yes, Chief Manahan.
Madam Chair, if I can recall, yung meron pong first three na dineport. Part of the reruns na 438. Yung ticket po nila, as I can recall, is Air Asia bound for China. Meron po yatang layover.
Saan yung layover, Chief?
I can't recall, but parang Hong Kong, Madam Chair.
Hong Kong. Itong tatlo, itong first three, ay itong sina Liu Shun, Kong Xiangrui at Wang Xiangle. Can you confirm that, Chief?
Yes, ma'am. I'll go back to my record, Madam Chair. Pero po yung tatlong ito na claim to be bosses, actually, ma'am, 438 foreign nationals, we never have any information na may boss or bosses doon. So kung
But if you confirm na itong tatlo, sina Liu, Kong at Wang, ang tatlong unang dineport, they are reportedly Chinese POGO bosses. May at least initial information sa kanila na ganon.
yes, ma'am. Wherever the agency reported na yun po yung mga bosses, we don't have any idea. Actually, ma'am, we arrest only. We're not particular on any classification or categories of the ranks ng mga inaaresto ng.
So please send me the implementation order on the deportation of those first three,
Yes, ma'am.
lalo na kung ma-confirm natin na sila sina Liu, Kong at Wang.
Yes, Madam Chair.
The three I named.
Madam Chair, can I share something?
Yes, please, the BI needs to share more para maging kapaki-pakinabang itong hearing na ito. Yes, please
Yun.
proceed, Chief.
First is the ticket. The usual deportation po, we secure assistance from the embassy to provide tickets. Ito po yung mga challenges ng BI kung saan kukunin po yung mga tickets. Ngayon there's a clamor to deport yung mga nahuhuli the soonest at the fastest time. So ang ginawa po ng BI, nag-initiate po sila ng dialogue with the PDLs kung sino po yung pwedeng magbigay or mag-shoulder or mag-purchase ng kanilang mga tickets. So, January 8 po nangyari ito, matter of 2 weeks. Ito na po yung pinaka-fastest deportation na nangyayari sa history ng BI, 2 weeks. At ang unang nagpa-deport is yung tatlo po yun na yun na kiniklaim to be boss or bosses.
Siyempre, kung bosses sila, afford nila. Kasi kumita na sila ng malaki sa POGO dito eh. Pero yung mga PDLs pa ang tinanong kung pwedeng mag-shoulder ng tickets sila. Hindi ba dapat may pondo ang BI para sa deportation na inuutos ng BI?
Madam Chair, sorry to say, wala po. Kaya
Alright.
yung mga challenges po ng BI,
Mhm.
wala po silang allocated funds for the tickets ng mga deportees. Madam Chair, also, the reason po na dineport itong tatlo, wala naman po silang, ang Chinese embassy at that time, wala pong minanifest na itong tatlong ito is fugitive or merong criminal offense sa China. It's been 2 weeks and we've been coordinating this to the said embassy, pero no written letter or no holdings manifested from the Chinese embassy. So, ang in-implement po natin dito is the Philippine law na to remove them the soonest time possible sa country as directed by the President during the time of the SONA to ban and cease and desist all operations and to remove them.
And with those first three, lalo na kung sila Liu, Kong at Wang, actual ba silang nakarating sa China? Their destination supposedly upon deportation.
Madam Chair, we don't have any information.
Why don't you have information? But why doesn't the Bureau have information? BI of the Republic of the Philippines orders deportation of 438 persons, including these three, who I think are the Chinese POGO bosses I named. dapat end-to-end para makumpleto yung deportation process. Bakit walang information kung nakarating sila actual sa destination nila?
Ma'am, I can, if my chief legal can correct me, but my personal opinion to this is that our main objective is to simply remove them out of the country and implement the deportation.
No, sir, I think even pending receipt of the copy of the deportation order, malinaw na removed from the Philippines but arriving in some other country. And sir, and not just Chief Manahan, Attorney Santos, you may want to address my follow-up question. Paano kung sabihin ko sa inyo na hindi sila nakarating sa China at nawala na lang sa layover? You told me na destination nila was China but they were going to have a layover in Hong Kong. Paano kung sabihin ko sa inyo na I have confirmation na ni kaluluwa nila hindi na nakarating sa China? Di ba responsibility natin, as I was asking Chief Manahan, responsibility natin, tiyakin na diretsyo pa uwi ang ating dinedeport? So what would you say to that information?
Yung responsibility na yan, Senator, is for, as far as the BI is concerned, ang protocol ho namin is once they are declared fugitive, we make sure that they are either escorted or alam ng kanilang embassy yung prior knowledge ng embassy yung pag-deport sa kanila. Pag hindi mo sila declared as fugitive, our duty is to ensure that they are boarded to their country. Ho. Yan ho yung hanggang dyan po yung Bureau of Immigration na that they are ensured that they are deported out, sinakay sila ng airline. Yan
And
po yung
shouldn't they be boarded for their country on a direct flight? Lalo na given the nature of these deportations. Hindi lang siya, deportation alone seryoso na, pero deportation in connection with a ban on purpose na napatunayan yung sasama ng epekto sa atin.
Yes, ma'am. As intimated by Chief Jun Manahan of our Intelligence Division, when we deported them, they have not been declared as fugitives by their country, by China. So when we deported them, it was a regular deportation.
Doesn't regular deportation mean direct flight without a layover?
Ma'am, as intimated by our commissioner, we accept what ticket is available.
So, but isn't it true also, attorney, that the Chinese embassy in the Philippines actually wrote to the PI to complain about the layover flights?
Wala ho, ma'am. Wala silang sinubmit regarding that.
I have information to the contrary. Sumulat ang Chinese embassy di umano sa bureau para ireklamo yung layover flights. And bakit? Nakakakulang ba ng direct flights sa China para kailangang rely on layover flights? Lalo na, conveniently for these first three na dineport na sa pagkaalam ko ay mga supposedly mga pogo bosses. Wala bang sapat na direct flights?
Ma'am, if I may reiterate, we accept what ticket was presented.
Presented by whom po?
That is, I will get back to you, ma'am, because it is our deportation unit that accepts the ticket.
Where's the deportation unit, sir? Wala ba sila ngayon?
Wala po, but we will check it, ma'am.
Hindi ba isa sa inyo ay in charge sa deportation unit?
Yes, ma'am. Under legal division.
So, sa ilalim
Opo.
ninyo, Attorney Santos.
Yes, ma'am.
So, during this hearing, I can't believe I have to ask all of these itty-bitty follow-up questions. Alam niyo naman po yung agenda ng hearing ngayon na that we were hoping to close it already. Kasi 4 na buwan na at least ang iniintay ng sagot sa mga tanong na ito. So, can you, before this hearing adjourns, can you please inform the committee why we had to rely on transit flights for deportees who are related to the big POGO issue, including those first 3 na sa pagkaalam ko ay mga Chinese boss. Ang deportation unit ba sa ilalim ng legal division ang responsable sa ganyang arrangements?
Yes, ma'am.
So, deportation, and sabi niyo nga po kanina, deportation ini-escort ng BI. So, wala po bang kasama yung dinedeport dun sa unang grupong iyon ng 438? Kasi bakit malaya na lang silang nakapuslit?
Yes, ma'am, when we say
Yes.
escorted, only up to the boarding at the airline.
That's not escorting.
Yun lang po talaga yung procedure ng deportation. No?
So, sino magiging responsable to make sure they actually arrive at their destination, in this case, China, at hindi lang sila magdi-disappear into the crowd sa layover nila?
Pagka ho declared as fugitive, that's when we ensure. But in this case, they are not fugitives.
Well, ito po yung kailangan yung malaman sa lahat ng resource persons natin mula sa BI. No? They never arrived in China. I'm making that off record for the committee. Itong 3 na pinangalanan ko kanina, Liu, Hong, at saka Wang, who I think are the first 3 na binanggit ni Chief Manahan na dineport sa group, kasama ng grupo na 438, they never arrived in China. O dahil sa Pilipinas, nakapuslit sila. What a shame, no? I mean, dahil sa atin, to whom they against whom they committed the most crimes sa mga kababayan natin. Nakapuslit sila. So, a deportation done wrong. No? A simple and regular operation of the Bureau dapat. Hindi pa na-achieve ang objectives. Attorney Santos.
Ma'am, if I may please clarify, deportation means that we ensure that they are boarded out of the country and they are blacklisted not to be able to return unless their blacklist is lifted by the commissioner. In this case, they are blacklisted. They were not declared as fugitives. So the BI ensured that they are boarded out of the country. Yan po yung duty ng BI. Hindi po sila dineclare as fugitive. Alam mo ng Chinese embassy that they were arrested and they were not declared as fugitive.
Convenient, no? Hindi sila na-declare na fugitive. And yet, I have that information also na actually nagreklamo ang Chinese embassy sa Bureau tungkol in particular dun sa layover flights.
Ma'am, wala akong sinubmit sila regarding that.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, attorney, I have information to the contrary. So, it's either the Bureau or the embassy who is not telling the complete truth to the committee, unfortunately. So, yes, Chief Manahan, before I...
Madam Chair, as far as I can recall also, there's a letter sent by the Chinese embassy
Yes.
to the Bureau of Immigration.
Mm.
Pero it's an appeal, Madam Chair, to hold the deportation process for the Chinese nationals as much as we can. So we can, they can charter the flight of the remaining 100 plus, Madam Chair, to China. Sa part naman po ng immigration, Madam Chair, ang sinabi po natin sa Chinese embassy at the time, we will continue deporting these foreign nationals as much as we can. Kasi po yun ang objective ng BI to fast track all the deportation process. In fact, Madam Chair, sa 438 na yun, more than half already deported ng BI. Yun po yung letter na alam ko po na pinadala ng Chinese Embassy appealing na kung pwede i-hold. Ang sabi naman po ng BI, we cannot hold the deportation. Walang makakahinto po ng deportation process ng BI kung kaya po mag-remove on a daily basis as much as we can. Yun po yung naging reason po ng letter, ma'am, Madam Chair.
Salamat para doon, Chief Manahan. But we still have to complete the picture and the communications dahil parang hindi pa rin nagbabangga between PI, which is part of our republic, and the Chinese embassy, which is of another government. Attorney Santos.
If I may also share regarding, I'm reviewing my communication with the Deputy Police Attaché of the Chinese Embassy. So we wrote them a letter saying that in the previous meeting of our Deportation Implementation Unit head with them, I was not a part of that meeting, but we wrote them and said that in your previous meeting with the DIU, Deportation Implementation Unit head, you said that there is no problem with connecting flights. So when we sent that, the reply of our Deputy Police Attaché of the Chinese Embassy, Mr. Zipeng Bai, said, maybe there is some misunderstanding regarding transit flights. We will send a reply this week. That message was on February 18. Up to now, I have not seen any letter that he said he will send regarding that issue, ma'am. So maybe just put that also on record.
Well, in any case, attorney, if this is the current policy overall regarding deportations, lalo na kaugnay ng Togo, which is arguably the hottest issue na hinarap ng gobyerno in the last year, then I'm telling you, maybe we need to revisit this policy, how it has been implemented so far. Kasi we are letting these rotten apples, no? Like itong sina Liu Xun, Kong Xiang Rui, at saka Wang Xianglie, just get away scot-free. Okay. And the reason na it's so disturbing is tiyak pa sa sikat na araw na maghasik na lang ulit ng lagim ang mga yan. Baka nga nakabalik na sila o ang mga tulad nila dito sa Pilipinas. Matuloy pa rin sa tila napaka-porous natin ng mga borders, parang napakadaling takasan o pasukin ng mga kriminal na elemento. Pwede niyo po bang talakayin naman ang immigration status ng mga nababalitang Chinese spies? At kung paano sila nakakapasok at nakakapirme dito sa Pilipinas? Has the BI even taken cognizance of this issue? At ano ang kaalaman niyo doon?
Yes, Madam Chair. We're closely coordinating with the NBI, cybercrime, with regard to that particular case. Hindi ko lang dala, ma'am, yung yung case folder, but we have the identities and the visa details nung first 5 na pinress release pinesent sa isang press conference ng NBI.
At ano po yung kanilang immigration status, itong first 5?
I will check, ma'am, and I will update you, ma'am, with regard to the visa details.
Please do that, Chief, within this hearing.
Yes, Madam Chair. And
Thank you.
habang may criminal charge filed case dun po dun sa 5 for espionage, yun din naman po ang aming kinukumit sa NBI na sasampahan din ho namin ng immigration violation and charge. So both administratively and criminally charged po yung magiging violation and offense ng 5 subjects or involved sa espionage.
Sino po yung BI officer or personnel na tinutukoy nyo?
NBI, ma'am, in charge sa case.
Now, you mentioned something about that you will investigate or implement disciplinary proceedings. In your previous statement.
It's the 5 subjects, ma'am, na involved sa espionage in foreign nationals. While the criminal case is ongoing, we will also file immigration violation charge or charges against these 5.
Against these 5, all right. And mamaya, tatanungin ko rin ng NBI kung ano mga aktibidades nitong 5 ang binantayan nila and ano yung mga action nila na gagawin kaugnay nila. Would you be able to also tell us during this hearing anong mga, paano sila nakapasok at nakapirme dito, itong 5? Thank you. We'll be awaiting that. And last but not least for now, no, for the BI, nasaan na nga pala si Harry Roque? O hindi nyo alam kung paano nakatakas si Go Walking, alam nyo ba kung nasaan si Harry Roque sa ngayon? Was he still in Dubai?
Madam Chair, we can't recall the dates anymore, but the last information that we had against on the couple, the Roques, umalis po ng Singapore yung wife, and then nagbound for Dubai. And there's also a sighting of Harry Roque also in Dubai. There's also an information na umalis po sila sometime December. And then yung information po na yon after, any information after, sorry Madam Chair, but we don't have any more information.
Alam nyo ba na pumunta silang, o at least si Harry Roque pumunta sa Singapore sa loob ng isang araw? Or rather, pumunta nang siya. Alam niyo ba na pumunta siyang Shanghai for 1 day?
Meron pong information pero wala po kaming validated proof na nag-enter po siya ng China.
At meron ba kayong information or validated proof na mula sa Shanghai, na isang araw lang ang tinagal niya doon, tumuloy siya sa Macau?
Madam Chair, sorry, wala po kaming pero meron po kaming alam na pumunta rin po siya ng Japan. And hindi po siya nakaalis. Supposed to be bound for US, pero denied flight, denied check-in. So, wala rin naman holdings ang Japan Police or Japan Immigration. Then after that, wala na po kami information.
Saan po siya sa Japan ayon sa information?
Wala po kaming exact details.
And bound supposedly saan sa US ayon sa information?
We don't have any information also, Madam Chair.
So, do you know if he's still in Macau?
Sorry, Madam Chair, we don't have any information.
Alright. Salamat, Chief Manahan. Dako na muna ako sa Department of Justice. Yes, ma'am, Attorney Torrevillas, Attorney Olivia. So, ma'am, pwede niyo po ba kaming bigyan ng general update sa mga kasong na isang palaban kina Guo Huaping, dun po sa Bamban Pogo, at saka kina Cassandra Leong at Harry Roque naman sa Porac Pogo, pati po kina Yang Jianshin alias Tony Yang at iba pa.
Good morning, Madam Chair. For the Bamban case filed against Alice Goo, we filed the information for qualified human trafficking in September 2024. And the bail hearing, the bail application of Alice Goo and her co-accused are all denied by the Honorable Court in December last year. And we will terminate the presentation of evidence by March 31. The defense will present its evidence in May of 2025. Also, for the PORAC case, there is already a draft resolution against Cassie Ong, Harry Roque, and other respondents in the PORAC case.
Yun naman pong kay Tony Yang, alias Yang Jianxin, may update po ba doon?
I am not familiar, Madam Chair, of the case filed against Tony Yang. If Tony Yang is included in the PORAC case, I am not familiar.
Tama, hindi po siya included sa PORAC case, kundi sa kaso kaugnay ng Cagayan de Oro. And then, mabalik lang kahit kangke doon sa pagtakas ni Guo Huaping patungkol doon. Ano naman po yung mga update sa mga kaso laban sa mga tumulong sa kanya? Halimbawa, kung mayroon kay Mayor Dong Kalugay at yung mga abogado din ni Guo Huaping, kabilang na po yung notaryo na nameke ng dokumento. Meron po bang update sa kanila?
For the lawyer before whom Alice Guo subscribed her counter affidavit, I think there is a criminal case filed against him. It was also investigated by the prosecutors of the Department of Justice. And for those who helped Alice Guo, I am not familiar if there is any criminal case filed before the Department of Justice.
Salamat. Baka mamaya maitanong ko rin sa DILG, lalo na tungkol kay Mayor Kalugay. And then, ma'am, and colleagues, no? Last week, my colleague here, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, revealed that there are still pogo bosses in the country and they are transitioning to other crimes. Nakot din po ang PAOK through its spokesperson, Dr. Winston Casio, that they will be able to identify the pogo bosses who are still here and help neutralize their activities. So, tama po ba, attorney, na sa pagkaalam no, ng DOJ na these pogo bosses have transitioned or are transitioning to other crimes? Yung scamming operations po ba ay still underway? At paano na po sa pagkaalam ng department, paano na po yung bagong modus operandi ng mga scamming operations na ito?
Madam Chair, I am not aware of any other crime filed by the PAOK with the Department of Justice. Recently, they filed the same cases of anti-human trafficking, particularly organizing labor trafficking for purposes of financial gain through scamming. Scamming is only a mode utilized by the POGO bosses for purposes of financial gain.
Salamat, attorney. Actually, nabanggit yung human trafficking at labor trafficking. Mababalikan din in a later question about yung bagong modus na napansin namin at isinusumbong ng mga patuloy na victim survivors na ginagamit nitong mga pogo.
Work from home. Some of the bosses now, according to our partner Leas, galing pa sa ibang bansa. So they're working from their country po. Not anymore here in the Philippines. Pero not verified, Madam Chair.
Pero dahil may at least information na ganun, siguro kailangan talagang alamin kasi alam natin nagmo-morph talaga yung mga pogo, hindi lang sa modus operandi, baka pati sa location ng pag-work from home nila. At meron din po bang, sigurado ko alam na din ito ng DOJ, no? Meron din lumilitaw ng mga pogo operations na patuloy din sa mga casino. Na-monitor din po ba ito ng department?
As chairman of the task force against human trafficking, we have not received any criminal case filed by our partner Leas po.
At this point, tanongin ko quickly ang PAGCOR. May na-monitor din po ba kayong dito na nagpapatuloy sa mga casino yung mga lumilitaw na pogo operations? Yes, Attorney Jessa Maris.
Madam Senator, wala po. Gusto din po namin linawin na hindi na po kami nag-i-issue ng any internet gaming license or offshore gaming license po. Lalong-lalo na po sa mga casinos kasi po nakita po namin sa news na gusto po yung linawin at we would like to put on record that we have not issued any license pertaining to that kind of activity.
Of course, and alam naman ito siguro ng PAGCOR at ni-raise ko sa Executive Secretary, may kailangan ding ayusin dun sa Executive Order kasi parang nagbibigay ng loophole, palusot sa mga POGO o dating POGO na ngayon nagpa-transition into continuing their criminal activities within casinos na nasa jurisdiction ng PAGCOR. Oo. If I could just, a few more questions sa DOJ bago magpatuloy sa tanong sa PAGCOR. So, Ayun, just a recent and very disturbing event, no, Attorney Olivia. Totoo ba yung haka-haka tungkol sa isang estudyante sa isang international school na Pogo-related daw ang pagkidnap sa kanya?
I have no information, Madam Chair, about that.
May information po ba tungkol dito yung PNP at saka yung NBI? Who's the spokesperson this morning for the PNP on this kidnapping case at kung related ba ito sa Pogo? Who could speak to this? Would it be General Torre or one other of the PNP resource persons? Yes, General.
Ma'am, an internal investigation is still underway, ma'am, and I think it's very premature to conclude kung ano man ang purot dulo ng lahat ng ito, ma'am. And if the committee will allow me, the committee chair will allow us to defer the answer, and we can submit it in an executive session, considering that there's still live manhunt operations and after operations, not pursuit operations still ongoing, ma'am. Thank you.
And the committee wishes you the best in those operations. So,
Maraming
by all means, sa executive session na lang po, may update ang subcommittee at ang committee about this. NBI, do you have any information about this case na handa nyo nang sabihin sa komite? Yes, Chief Maliari.
Good morning po, Madam Chair. From my end, wala po akong information, but if the committee will allow me to communicate with the Assistant Director for Intelligence, I would be able to get an update from him, kung meron pong ginagawang information gathering at investigation ng aming inter-service. He would provide yung update immediately po.
Alright, salamat po. And again, the same courtesy, the committee is always ready to extend as to the PNP sa NBI din po. Anything that you would need to tell in executive session ay ma-appreciate po ng komite at ng aming chair. Balikan ko po si Attorney Olivia for the DOJ. At ito kaugnay nung una yung binanggit kanina, yung sa human and labor trafficking. No? Sa kasalukuyan po, may mga Pilipinong tinutulungan ng aming opisina in coordination with Philippine Embassy officials both in Thailand and Myanmar. Ito po, ipa-flash ko ulit yung travel ads nung kanina. Mga biktima po sila ng human trafficking gamit ang isang bagong modus operandi. Ang mga ads na ito ay pinopost sa social media, nagkukunwaring promo or raffle para sa libreng travel papuntang Thailand. Hihingin yung pangalan at contact details sa comments at kunyari ay pipiliin silang panalo. Dadalhin sa Thailand pero at hindi nila alam, pagdating doon, di pala bakasyon ang pakay sa kanila. Human trafficking na. Pipiliting itawid sa Misot papuntang Myanmar at dadalhin sa online gaming at scamming centers. Ikukulong at pipilitin ng magtrabaho. Kung umalma ang mga Pilipino, as before, bugbog at abuso ang aabutin. At ang pinakamasaklap pa, ang mga babae ay nagiging biktima ng panggagahasa at sexual abuse. So dahil dito po sila dinadala sa Myawaddy, kung saan matatagpuan ang mga scamming, online gaming at human trafficking compounds. Aware po ba ang DOJ Iyakat, attorney, sa bagong modus operandi na ito? At ano po ang ginagawa ng department at ng council para pigilan ang panloloko at pambibiktima sa mga Pilipino?
I cannot speak po for IACAT, but rest assured, Madam Chair, that I will communicate with the head of IACAT, Undersecretary Nicholas P. about this matter, so that the IACAT could extend the necessary assistance to our kababayan.
Salamat. Pero at least sa department level, aware na po ang department dito sa bagong modus operandi.
If it's already in the news, perhaps the department is already aware of it, Madam Chair.
Salamat, attorney. Tanungin ko rin ang BMW sa usapin ito, pero quickly muna sa Bureau of Immigration. Has the Bureau heard of this modus operandi at handa ba ang Bureau na i-combat, na labanan itong bagong modus? Yes, Attorney Santos.
Yes, ma'am. As Chief Olive of the DOJ said, that it's already in the news, and I believe, ma'am, with our numerous interceptions for possible victims of human trafficking at our ports, international ports, we regularly deny the departure of potential trafficking victims. And in fact, once these their departures are denied, we, as a matter of course, release in our press release their story of the possible circumstances that they are possible victims.
Pero bagong modus nga ito baka hindi mag-apply sa kanila yung usual markers ng Bureau for Human Trafficking. Nagmumukha silang turista na sinuwerte sa isang raffle. Handa ba ang Bureau na labanan din yung ganitong bagong modus?
Thank you, ma'am. We take note of this new modus, and we are confident that we will be able to detect possible victims under this new modus.
Alright, salamat, Attorney Santos. So, quickly to ask DMW, sino nga po yung, yes sir, Asec de Guzman, aware po ba ang department sa bagong modus at ano po yung, kung aware na po, ano pong ginagawa ng department para tulungan yung mga kababayan natin dito?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po. Ma'am, on the preventive side, ma'am, we continue to engage at least on the public information campaign para at least ma-prevent po yung pag-alis sa mga kababayan natin at huwag mabiktima ng scam or modus na ito. Patuloy po yung suporta ng Department of Migrant Workers at nakikipagtulungan sa Interagency Council Against Trafficking. We're an active member agency. And at the same time, ma'am, we have recently opened a Migrant Workers office in Bangkok. Okay, I was in Bangkok last week, ma'am, attending also a regional dialogue. And at the 4